More than 100 people arrived at the Komati police station on the 22nd of October. These environmental activists paid tribute to their colleague Fikile, who was assassinated a year ago. Fikile was vehemently opposed to the construction of a new coal mine in the region. Her colleagues are convinced that the murder was committed because of her involvement, but there's been no progress in her case.
We are saying that the police are not taking the case seriously. We are saying we want the commissioner to know that the killers are still out there to kill more activists.
Members of this NGO who oppose the construction of new coal mines are threatened regularly.
We just received quite a lot of SMSs threatening our lives. Situation is not good at all. And some of us, we are staying in a safe place in order to protect ourselves. And at the moment, we also have the private bodyguards.
Nothing deters these young people who don't want any more coal mines. Fikile's daughter explained that her mother was offered a sum of money and a new house for convincing the community to leave the area, but she refused.
Because it was around 7 in the evening, and then her body was here. We found her body laying here. That's the 7th bullet. Most of the people in this community aren't that well educated. I think her trying to educate the people with their rights is what put her in danger, but she was just trying to do good.
If South Africans oppose coal, which produces 80% of the country's power, it is because coal means pollution. 15 South African coal power stations emit more sulfur dioxide than the entire China and the United States. Komati is one of the first coal power stations in the country. It was constructed during the 1950s. Its installations are obsolete. It could not be decommissioned last year because the country has a power shortage. The station manager of the plant says South Africa is late with its energy transition.
We have not been driving this as hard as we are now focusing on it. It always sounded like there's still time, there's still another 5 years or whatever period. It caught up with us, and now unfortunately we are trying to catch up. So nothing, no excuse, no good reason. We should have moved way beyond this.
Pretoria is encouraging renewables. Komati, a state-owned plant, for example, is piloting an original conversion project. The coal-fired power station will be transformed into a solar park. This is what was explained to a French ministerial delegation visiting Komati. To South Africans, the most challenging part of the conversion is not to find partners, but to avoid job losses.
There are jobs that are going to be lost. Bringing in panels that you can see outside there, which are some of them remotely controlled, some of them are self-maintenance. And the people around here are not that skilled, they have only general skilling. How do you then get them to buy into this technology?
The carbon industry has more than 100,000 employees. It supports more than 1 million people. Several countries, like France, promised to mobilize $8.5 billion over 5 years to finance an energy transition in South Africa. For the French Minister of Ecological Transition, the initiative at Komati is a good example.
If we don't provide hope for this green transition, if it looks like we're just going to close the power plants, if we don't talk about the future, we're not going to get everyone behind us. This green transition must also be the opportunity to create a new world. And so I like what's being proposed here, to remind people that we're proud of our past, that we're proud to have developed the country by producing energy, but now we're looking towards the future.
Although Pretoria's commitment to renewable energy is late, it is impressive. South Africa is the #1 producer of solar energy on the continent, ahead of Egypt and Algeria. In the past few years, solar parks have been mushrooming in the northern parts of the country. More and more private operators are taking advantage of the exceptional sunshine. This project, for example, north of Kuriman, was built in less than 6 months. The concept is unique. It sells its electricity to a customer who is located more than 1,000 kilometers south of the production site. The founder of this project says it would have been impossible without recent legislative changes. Independent producers can now sell their electricity directly to the private sector.
What the regulation has changed is it's made all projects up to 100 megawatts in size exempt from requiring a license to generate. And that has meant that the process to actually get these projects on stream becomes much easier for everyone involved. Customers start to have a choice about where they can buy their electricity from. It doesn't just have to come from the municipality or Eskom, it can actually come from other private entities, which could be cheaper, could be cleaner, could be more sustainable than what we currently have.
Although South Africa still depends heavily on coal, the objective is that by 2030, 25% of the country's electricity will come from renewable energy.